The following is a presentation of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Student-led, student-centered, student-serving.
Formation. Here's the snap. Fake standoff to Dean. Looking deep for Eismann. He's got it! Touchdown, Burke Eismann!
The rivalry means everything. You know how you grow up to those kids, Mead and Frederick were once, we used to play on the same teams, and then eventually you get to high school and you gotta split up.
Motion man, Lakey, can he get in?
And that is it! It's
Lakey! Yes!
There could be some kind of bad blood, but it kind of builds the game up a little bit and adds some emotion to it. And anytime you can do that, it really helps to make for a good football game. I think is when the kids really care.
When you grow up next to a town, there's nothing more than anything than a rivalry. So all I've been talking about all this week and all I've been hearing from everybody is let's go beat Mead. So it's pretty exciting.
As Carly said, Palma, far right, he's gonna give it to Sanders once again. Same play, touchdown Tatum Sanders.
Frederick football means everything to me. It is the culture here in the small town of Frederick. Friday night lights, everyone gathers around to celebrate Frederick football.
Get some money here. I'm gonna say trap right. Or super. Great Carriage Park.
I think it's a really good spirited rivalry. The kids get really hyped up, but it's an awesome opportunity, win or lose, for the Frederick Golden Eagles to put their awesome sportsmanship on display.
And welcome in everybody to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name's Dante Lechuga, alongside here with G Banner of the Year, Carly Evans. It's a beautiful Friday night here in Mead, Colorado, as we have a lovely rivalry matchup. Carly, what are we looking forward to in today's game?
Well, couldn't have said it better myself to get everybody hyped up on this rivalry broadcast. This is definitely a special one. We have two back-to-back special football games because next week is homecoming too. But this week with the rivalry, we're going up against the tough Mead Mavericks. As we're going to take a look at Mead's last game, they played Pueblo South, beat them 33-14. I was talking with a few Mead players actually before the game started, and they were talking about, they were pumped, they were ready, and they were pretty fired up, especially from last game. So Mead starting off 1-0. Frederick, unfortunately, starting off 0-1 was sort of a tough start to their season last game. Gavin, not his cleanest game, and I know he's going to want to kind of combat that. And so it will be curious to see these two senior starting quarterbacks, too, facing off against one another.
For sure. Last year, Ishmael got the better of Heiner. We'll see if Heiner can get his revenge. But, of course, our Golden Eagles are looking to make their record 1-1, be 500 on the year.
500 is definitely better than an 0-2 record. Don't want to start the season that way.
As we're actually going to go down to the sideline with Zoe Wittler.
Zoe Wittler. Big game here for Frederick. Not only is it versus our rival Mead, but Frederick's trying to get a win to bounce back from last week and go into week 3 with an even record of 1-1. Let's go Golden Eagles. Back up to you, Carly and Dante.
Thank you, Zoe, as we're getting ready to do the national anthem here in a second.
At this time, we ask that you please join us and direct your attention to the flag as we honor the United States of America and those who protect our freedom with the playing of our national anthem performed tonight by the Mead Mavericks Marching Band under the direction of Booth Hayes, David Reeder, and Kate Lewis.
Shout out to Mead's band for that anthem. As Carly, what are today's keys for this game?
Well, today's keys, we are going to be looking at, first and foremost, Battle of the Senior QBs. This is something that I briefly touched on earlier. And, I mean, both of those seniors, you got Gavin Ishmael and Christian Heiner, these two seniors who have had a pretty decent start to their season. Obviously, Gavin not pulling through with the win last game. Christian Heiner, though, with a pretty big W against Pueblo South. But both of them, I think it'll be like a highly anticipated matchup with two of these players who are combating against one another, especially their senior year, want to leave a lasting imprint on both Mead and Frederick. Second one that I have is Rise Up for the Rivalry. We talked briefly about the whole Mead versus Frederick hype, and you know, we've been posting on socials. If you guys have seen any of that, we've been posting pretty much non-stop most of today talking about how big this rivalry is going to be between Mead and Frederick. Frederick, obviously, that's been like the talk of the town pretty much all day, all week pretty much. And so this is a very highly anticipated game. Third and final point that I have is watch out for Elmore. So Ethan Elmore, he is one of the starters, actually, for the Mead Mavericks. Ethan Elmore, he's a highly versatile player. Last game, he held the most receiving yards per game, sitting at 47 yards, which doesn't sound like a lot, but Christian Heiner only had 102 yards that game, so he pretty much had half of that. And the most rushing yards, too, per game, sitting at 88, almost an 100-yard game, which is super impressive first game of the season, something that Mead is definitely going to utilize. He also had 2 touchdowns last game, whereas I believe Gavin only threw for 1 touchdown total, and he had 1 pick as well, which kind of led him sitting at sort of a mediocre quarterback rating. Heiner was sitting at an 113.9, so super high last game. And so, yeah, those are pretty much the 3 main points that I have for today's game.
Another big part I'd like to point out is Haggerty being out for today's game. I believe he dislocated his shoulder in the last game. How will that affect this defense? Or was it his elbow?
I think it was elbow, because I believe last game it just sort of was not cooperating with them, sort of fell out twice, which is not something that you want to see. He appears to be completely okay, though. He has a brace on, though, and having Tavin Haggerty missing from, I believe, defense. Missing from the defense, that is a big aspect of Frederick's defense, and I don't think we heard too much of Haggerty's name last game, but last season we heard a lot of Haggerty, and so that'll be a key component to their defense that they're going to be missing, and Frederick not looking forward to facing off against Mead with Tavin gone. I also heard some speculation about Gavin, I believe, either his ankle or somewhere around his foot. He was having a little bit of trouble. He appears to be okay. Not sure if they taped it or not, but he appeared to be a little iffy with his foot, but he is playing. Saw him out there practicing with the rest of the team, as I believe we're about to see the coin toss-up. Flip my words there.
And it looks like Frederick will receive to start this game, so we'll see Ishmael in this explosive offense take over. As much as I like to say explosive, it sure didn't seem like a last game. Hopefully they can bounce back.
No, it was definitely a tough game for Gavin. He had 2 passing touchdowns, messed it up with 1, but he had 1 interception, though, and he only had a 0.571 completion rate, so a little bit over half of his passes completed last game. And so it gave him a 76.5 quarterback rating, which for those of you who don't understand the quarterback rating is basically taking all of the statistics from the game, and as a quarterback, you really obviously want the higher your quarterback rating is, the better a game you had. In Christian Heiner last game, he only threw for 12 passes, completed 7 of them, and he also had around a 0.5 completion rate, but he had a much cleaner game than Gavin. Gavin's interception early on sort of threw him off, I felt like, for the rest of the game. So that was definitely tricky starting off early on.
Definitely. As we're getting ready to get started with this game, Mead's rowdy crowd already getting hyped. There's a lot of people that popped out today's game. Of course, crosstown rivalry. As we're underway, kickoff will go into the end zone, and Ishmael will take over at the 20.
I mean, honestly, first drive, what we're going to be looking for from Gavin, I think, is, as you put it, last game wasn't as explosive as they wanted it to be. This game, we really need to see him step up and sort of be the cornerstone of this offense. And we need to see him move the ball. We've seen his agility beforehand, previously in last year's seasonal games, and we saw him with his agility aspect. He's super elusive whenever you get him on the run. Outside the pocket, he's super deadly, and he can make plays happen. It's just a matter of, I think, last game super shaken up from how big Broomfield's players were.
Ishmael on the offense trots down to the field. Starting here at the 20 with the touchback. Ishmael has trips right. I believe that's Salazar in the backfield with him. Motion man Eismann. Flag on the play. And it's going to be a delay of game to start the game here for Frederick. Not the way you want to start. It'll be 1st and 15.
No, I think Frederick was just as confused as we were up here. Not a good start, obviously, to the game. Not what you want. But this will bring up a 1st and 15 for Frederick. Got to be mindful of the clock management.
Ishmael shotgun. He has twins right. He has a lone man on the left. That's Rudman. Here's the snap. Ishmael, screen pass right side to Del Pitts. Del Pitts goes down low to make the grab, and he'll pick up about 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 1st and about 11.
Del Pitts was a big part of that explosive offense, especially last season, and we saw a burst of energy there on the right side. Just found him for a screen pass, had good blockers, and he was able to pick up, I believe, a gain of about 5, which will leave him with a 2nd and 5. Good gain, about 10 yards, I believe, from the 1st and 15 that they started out with.
2nd and 5 here for Ishmael. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Salazar. Salazar's met at the line. He'll maybe get back to the line, maybe a yard.
It was a good little agility move from Salazar. We saw him try and break away from Mead's defense, but their defensive lineman pretty much snuffed it out immediately, only able to gain a yard. This will bring up a 3rd and 4 on the play. Big 3rd down early on.
3rd and 4 here for Ishmael on the offense. Mead's defense posturing to start this game. Ishmael's going to have trips left. He has a lone man right. That's Palma. Salazar in the backfield once again. Here's the snap. Fake handoff. Ishmael right side. Out route for Palma. And that will be incomplete. His momentum took him out of bounds, and that'll be a turnover on downs for Frederick. Or punt that ball away, excuse me.
Yeah, thankfully not a turnover on downs. That would have been unfortunate. In Frederick territory, but with this early on, pretty much a 3 and out is not what Frederick wanted here. As you said it, his momentum just took him right out of bounds, and now we're going to be looking at a punt from Frederick here early on. About 10.5 minutes left in this first quarter. Ate up a little bit of clock here, but we'll see what Frederick's defense can muster up.
Here's the punt. It'll fall down at the 50. It takes a friendly bounce here for Frederick to the 41. And that is where Christian Heiner and his offense will take over.
So Christian Heiner, we talked a little bit about him. He's starting in really good field position here. Looks like they're going to have the ball spotted at about the 40.5. But that is really good field position for Frederick and Mead and their offense early on. Frederick's defense really going to have to step up. Don't want to see Mead scoring first, so that'll give them a decent amount of momentum here.
Heiner's going to go shotgun to start off the game. He has 2 in the backfield with him. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff left side, met by a wall, and he'll pick up about 2 yards on that play.
As we are going to be taking a look at your defensive starters for this game.
Reno DiGiswaldo, receiver, DB, 11th grade.
Wesley Walker, senior, linebacker.
Austin Schaefer, senior, defensive end.
Josiah Martinez, senior, defensive end.
Cole Tovey, junior, safety.
Sam Chambers,
senior, defensive line.
Marcus Almiron, junior, DB. Tevin Haggerty, linebacker, senior.
Eric Ross, junior, middle linebacker.
Seamus Bamrick, senior, wide receiver, cornerback.
Great run that was by Chapala. Be 1st and 10 Mavericks. Heiner shotgun. There's the snap, handoff. Chapala again, left side. Has a lot of blockers. He has a seam. He'll be brought down, not after he picks up the first down, though, all the way out to the 30.
Yeah, a flock of Golden Eagles was able to bring him down, but he just kept chugging along. There was no stopping him. He found a little bit of a breakaway close to the outside and just took it and just went with it. This will give Mead a first down now, nearing the red zone in Frederick territory. First down at, I believe, the 31-yard line.
Mead's offense rolling to start this game. Heiner shotgun once again. Frederick making some defensive adjustments. Here's the snap, handoff, right side this time. Chapala again. Chapala will be dragged down after a 3-yard gain.
Heiner, good pump fake there. Almost had me fooled up here, but nothing much gained here yardage-wise. This will be a 2nd and 8. Hoagie with the tackle. He's another player to look out for. He had a big game last game. I believe 10 tackles, which is absolutely insane for a defensive player.
Especially a DB. Heiner under center. Here's a snap, handoff, right side again. And he'll be brought down by Salmeron, another player who had a lot of tackles last game.
Marcus Salmeron held the record last game for most tackles. He had 15, which is absolutely insane. But Frederick starting to anticipate what Mead is doing here early on. They're just trying to clobber them with the run game. They're stuck now with a 3rd and 4. Maybe in field position for a field goal if they have a decent kicker, so.
Heiner under center again, right up the middle. He'll be met by Walker. Pile push for Mead. And he'll be close to the sticks. Depends on the spot.
Mead got their O-line in on that push.
And it'll be a first down here for Mead.
So Mead moving the chains once again. We've seen a lot from their run game here early on in this game with about 7.5 minutes left. So it'll be a 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line of Frederick's side. Mead, though, gaining the momentum that they really need in order to try and stifle Frederick here. Frederick gonna have to do something.
Mead really giving us a different look as well. Elmore has yet to get a touch on the ball in this game. But here he goes right here, right side. He has a seam, makes a cut into the end zone. Touchdown, Ethan Elmore.
And this will not be the first time that we see Ethan Elmore probably score a touchdown. Ethan Elmore, number 16, he's the real 1-6 big threat to look out for. Found himself a seam, split it, and was just able to outrun and outpace all of Frederick's defenders. He didn't find anything down the middle, but was able to find some stuff on the outside. And now this will set Mead up with an early lead, 6-0. Your Golden Eagles now trailing as they will kick the extra point.
The stocky running back, the stocky sophomore running back from Mead will score first, as Mead will take a 7-0 lead with that extra point, and Ishmael will look to retaliate.
Yeah, Frederick, not exactly the start that they wanted to see here early on. Obviously, in the very first play, we saw them dealing with penalty flags and delay a game, and I think that probably just threw off the whole thing because it left him with a 1st and 15, and Frederick wasn't able to muster up much, went 3-0 pretty much on that. A 3-and-out is not how Frederick wants to build that anticipation.
And Mead's run game was rolling on that first drive.
Yeah, they were. There was no stopping them. They just run after run.
Mead will start off with the mojo here in this game. strikes early. Kickoff will go right side. That'll go into the end zone once again. Ishmael will take over at the 20.
So Ishmael and his offense starting off in the same place as last time. Hopefully not the same predicament, though, with the early on penalty.
Let's take a look here at the Frederick offensive starters.
Gavin Ishmael, senior, quarterback, defensive back when I throw a pick.
Jeezrel Palma, senior, wide receiver.
Sonny Del Pitts, junior, slot receiver, and safety. Dominic Ramirez, sophomore, left and right guard, beat Texas.
Rollins Liddell, senior, center.
Trace Heil, junior, left tackle.
My name is Tristan D. I'm a senior, and I play running back and DB.
Burke Eismann, senior, tight end.
Christian Conamio, senior, offensive tackle, fresh off the couch. Braden Rudman, senior, wide receiver.
1 yard gain there for Salazar, the first down run. Ishmael's all alone in the shotgun. Motion man Salazar. Fake toss. Ishmael keeping himself. Bounces it to the outside. Ishmael cuts up field, lowers the shoulder. He'll pick up about 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 6.
It's not every day that you see an elusive quarterback like Gavin Ishmael lower the shoulder. I mean, shoulders are a sensitive area. All the arm parts are. So Gavin just displaying a little bit of aggressiveness, which is exactly what we need, and we need to continue that on this already 3rd and 5.
Ishmael's going to be all alone again. He has trips left. Palma's going to be all alone. Here's the snap. Ishmael drops back, 2-step drop, feeling pressure, and he'll be brought down. No, he'll get rid of it. Almost made a play to Palma. That would have been ridiculous if Palma somehow grabbed that. But it will once again be a 3 and out here for Frederick.
Which is unfortunate. 2 3 and outs is really killing the momentum here for Gavin Ishmael and his offense. Because, I mean, Gavin was almost able to sneak a pass out as he was getting sacked, which is not an easy feat to do, especially for a quarterback. Gavin, though, displaying some strength there as he just tried to keep the play going. Palma was just out of reach. If only he had backed up a little bit.
Here's the punt, line drive punt. It'll take a roll to the 41 once again. Same spot here for Heiner and company. So I'd like to take this chance to shout out FHS Booster Club for sponsoring today's broadcast. Frederick High School, Booster Club is always looking for parent volunteers to help carry on the long tradition of supporting the students of this community. The purpose of Booster Club is to provide the funding and manpower for the homecoming tailgate celebration, the after-prom party, grants to student groups and clubs, as well as scholarships to graduating seniors. If you're interested in becoming involved, we would invite you to reach out through our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us or attend our next meeting in the FHS library. Again, please visit our website, fhsbooster.com, and click on Contact Us. Heiner is going to fake the handoff and give it to Ethan Elmore, who will maybe get back to the line. 2nd and 10 here for Mead.
So, second time Ethan Elmore has touched the ball, and we've already seen a burst of explosiveness from him. Interestingly enough, so Gavin got hit in the leg again, which is not a good sign for Gavin. And right now, they're on the sideline, all reviewing plays. There's a big huddle of them over there, hopefully trying to improve what's been a 3 and out offense.
Heiner's going to hand it off on Elmore on the jet sweep. He makes a cut, and a flock of Eagles will bring him down. Not after he picks up a couple of yards, though.
So Elmore tried bouncing it around to the outside, tried to sweep it, and just wasn't really able to do much. Got a few yards, and that will leave them with a 3rd and 5. 4.5 minutes left in this first quarter.
And I'll tell you what, Carl, he has taken a couple of them to take down Elmore so far every time he has touched the ball. We'll see if that continues as this game goes on.
I mean, for those of you who watch the NFL, he almost reminds me a little bit of like a tough Isaiah Pacheco type runner. His legs do not stop moving whenever he's down on the field.
Heiner going to give it to him again. Elmore has a seat, and he'll be brought down by Walker, one of the leading players on this defense, one of the backbones for sure.
So Wesley Walker with the takedown, first time we've heard his name, and just like Ethan Elmore, not the last time that we'll hear Walker's name. As you said, pretty much the backbone of this Frederick defense, especially with so much shifting around from last year's defensive players, pretty much a whole new roster defensively. As this will be 4th down for Mead, and they'll just punt it away.
Del Pitts back to return. He's going to let this take a bounce, but what a punt that was by number 12 for Mead, Eli Davis. He'll pin Frederick back at the 10-yard line.
Frederick has to be super careful here now with 3.5 minutes in this first quarter. Frederick is looking to make up for these, was it 2 3-and-outs? 2 3-and-outs in a row, which is not how Frederick wanted to start. Mead already scored once. Frederick's defense able to get the job done pretty cleanly last drive. And now the offense has to do what they could not have done these last 2 drives. They have to score and get out of their own red zone.
Ishmael's going to be all alone. Similar formation. Here's the snap. He's going to drop back. Pump fakes. Tries to evade one tackler, but he'll be close to the end zone. No, he'll be at the 1-yard line. Mead is sending heat.
I mean, Gavin, we already heard with, his leg pretty much getting pummeled multiple times. He looks like he almost, for one, he's getting pressure from both of the outside defensive linemen, and we're seeing there's nowhere for him to go outside of the pocket. He's being pinned within the pocket. And whenever you're in the pocket, you can't throw it away. You can't do anything like that. And whenever you're backed up this far down to the 1-yard line, you really cannot afford a safety here. That would give Mead a 2-score lead, and that is exactly where Frederick does not want to be.
Ishmael in shotgun in his own end zone. Motion man Salazar. He's going to get rid of it quick to Palma. On the drag route, Palma makes a move, brought down by the ankles. He'll pick up a couple. It's going to be 3rd and forever.
3rd and forever is an understatement. Looking at a Looking at a 3rd and 13, so 3rd and very long for Frederick. Thankfully, though, able to evade any safeties or any casualties, which, as I stated before, is something that Frederick cannot afford.
Ishmael, same formation once again. All alone. Motion man, that's Del Pitts. It's going to be misdirection to Salazar. Salazar looking for some room. He'll be brought down at the line. Or excuse me, after a 3-yard gain. It'll be 4th and 10, 3 and out again for Frederick.
So obviously not 4th down territory here early on, but they really have to start thinking about how are we going to get this offense moving? Because, I mean, they've barely been able to move this ball 10 yards. They've had trouble on offense all of this first quarter, something that they really have to work on as the second quarter nears.
3 straight 3 and outs here for Frederick. Heiner will look to make this a 2-score game here in the first quarter. Ishmael, he's going for on 4th down, or no, they're just going to try to throw an interception as a punt, but that did not work out. And now Mead is in goal to go.
So a very interesting look from Gavin, as now this puts Mead in really, really good field position. They're within the red zone now. You're sitting at about the 10-yard line. Not sure why they didn't just punt it away.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that play call. I want to say they wanted to. It looked like they were going to throw a deep ball and use that as a punt if Mead intercepted it, but they didn't intercept it. So now it'll be 1st and goal here for Mead and Heiner. So Heiner's in the shotgun. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff. Elmore again on the sweep. Elmore looking to cut upfield. Bounces off one. He's still on his feet. Finally brought down. Not after he picks up 4 yards, though.
And, I mean, Colt Hoagie tried to stop him in the backfield, and it just did not pay off. Elmore pretty much brushed him off, which is a hard thing to do. Hoagie is a hard hitter, and to just brush off Hoagie like that, you can tell Ethan Elmore is quite the runner, which is exactly what Frederick should be looking out for. He's a threat.
Heiner, shotgun. Here's the snap, handoff left side, and he'll be met by a wall. Frederick's defense doing all they can here in this second and goal situation. It'll be 3rd and goal.
So I believe that was number 24, Chapala again. We've heard Chapala's name quite a bit, Elmore not as much, but Elmore has really been quite the impact player. Chapala not able to do quite much of anything, as Mead will be sitting at a 2nd down and 7 to go.
And not sure what's
looks like maybe a flag happened, because refs were talking about backing them up, which it looks like it'll be 2nd down now. 2nd and 18.
40 seconds left here in this first quarter. Mead will this will most likely be the last play in this first quarter. Heiner's going to go under center. Motion man, handoff. And that will be about a 6-5 yard gain for Mead, as I'm sure they will take this down to the end of the first quarter.
So Mead tried to use their blockers and just try and run right up the middle, but it really didn't pay off for them, as this will be a 3rd and 14. As looks like they did not.
And that will be the end of the first quarter, as we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Ziedel Realty, and specifically Greg Ziedel. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Ziedel is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Ziedel Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Ziedel Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Ziedel Realty.
And welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Dante Lechuga, alongside here with Carly Evans, as Christian Heiner has a man in the end zone just off the fingertips, as we're going to go down to the sideline here with Zoe Wittler.
The game, the guys are super angry and frustrated. They're immediately coming off the field, ripping off their helmets, exchanging heated words, but coaches and teammates are alongside of them to try and encourage them, remind them this is only first quarter. They still have 3 others to come back. They're only down just 7 points. And so with that reminder, no matter how frustrated they are, you can see they know this is just the start of the second just now. And so they're going over to the iPads, reviewing play, seeing what they can do better, so that next time they're on the field, they can capitalize. Back to you, Dante and Carly.
Thanks, Zoe, as Eli Davis will poke that field goal through to make this a 2-score game here for Mead in this first half, 10-0.
So as we were briefly talking about before we cut to Zoe, it was a rough, tough first quarter for your Frederick Golden Eagles. Weren't really able to do much on offense. Their defense sort of stood up to the challenge, even here, forcing only the field goal, in which, I mean, probably should have been a touchdown based off of how much momentum Mead was carrying with them. And I mean, Frederick almost gave them another touchdown. as Frederick hoping to make some kind of magic happen here and put something on the scoreboard.
We'll see if Ishmael will come back out with that leg injury he's fighting. See if Frederick will get a chance to return it. They haven't yet. And another booming kick. That will go in the end zone again. Eli Davis is having himself a night with his leg.
I mean, he is. He's made it look mega easy. He's booted it, and he's already completed an extra point and a field goal. And sometimes the kickers are the impact players, so Eli Davis will set them up at the 20-yard line. So Gavin, in his offense, going 3 3-and-outs in a row. Gavin last time, no, it was a 4-and-out because he just chucked it up, hoping for a deep ball, and that did not pay off.
Ishmael's shotgun, fakes the handoff, feeling pressure again. He's going to roll right, looking to make a play happen. He's looking for Rudman, and that will be dropped. It was in his hands.
Braden
Nothing
Rudman
doing here for Frederick.
Rudman sort of ran like a slant route and was able to shake off the Mead defender on the right side of the field, but just not quite what you wanted.
Second and 10 here for Ishmael. Salazar back in the game at running back. We have yet to see the normal starting running back, Tristan Dean, in. We're mixing up here today. Ishmael going to hand off to Salazar. Salazar looking for a seam. Salazar is met at the line. It's going to be 3rd and 10.
So another big third down. You saw Salazar try and bounce it to the outside, but there was no seam to be found. He was swallowed up by a swarm of these Maverick players. Their D linemen have just been absolutely terrifying, and their linebackers have been able to snuff out pretty much anything.
Ishmael dropping back. He has Salazar. Salazar catches it on the swing pass. Salazar looking for some room. He'll be ankle bited at the 26, 27. And it'll be another 3-and-out here for Frederick. But once again, Ishmael still on the field.
So this is a risky move. We saw last time with the deep ball, nothing came out of it whatsoever. Gavin and his offense still staying on. As we said, that leg sort of messing with him. And Mead's going to bring the pressure.
Motion man. Del Pitts, he'll go back to the spot he was at. And it's going to be a timeout here for Frederick. I don't know if we were trying to draw them off sides, but that did not pan out.
Mead was not jumpy whatsoever.
As I like to take this chance to shout out Rocky Church for supporting today's broadcast. Would you like to meet an Olympian, connect with a D1 athlete, or talk with a Twitch streamer? Rocky Students is a part of Rocky Church, and they are all about connecting students to their purpose. They believe students are the figure, and their goal is to help you be empowered, encouraged, and supported. There are many ways to connect with Rocky students. You can start by watching their monthly podcast on YouTube, where you'll hear from guests on a multitude of topics. Show up on a Wednesday night to hang out with friends and meet some incredible guest speakers, or even join their gaming community on Discord. Follow them on Instagram at RockyStudents_Frederick to learn more.
As I've mentioned before, I do go, and I highly recommend you check it out as well. 10.5 minutes. Ooh.
As errant punt this will be, and that'll bounce out at the 45.
Very, very shallow kick. Didn't go quite how Frederick's kicker anticipated. And this will set Mead up once again in really good field position. Mead at the 43-yard line of Frederick. Already trailing. Frederick is 10-0. Haven't been able to do absolutely anything. Heiner and his offense have just been chugging right along. Ethan Elmore, whew, he is fun to watch, unfortunately.
Heiner, misdirection. And that play will get a big gain for Mead. But it looks like the ball was coughed up. Frederick signaling they got it. And looks like they'll say Mead was down. First down, Mead. Move those chains.
As I'm sure the coaches are not too happy about that. If the ball was coughed up, that would have been the perfect opportunity for Frederick momentum, but now first down.
Heiner's going to go under center. Will hand it off. He'll be met after a couple of yards. Flock of Eagles will finally bring him down.
So I've noticed they tend to lean towards the middle of the field with their running game. I mean, their O-linemen have just brutally been tearing up Frederick's defense. They have not put any pressure on Christian Heiner, which the same could not be said for Gavin Ishmael. He has felt the pressure from all sides. The linebackers have been hot on his trail, and they have not let him do anything.
Paula and Elmore running all over Frederick's defense as Heiner will do a play action. He has a man. That was Elmore, I believe. First down, Frederick.
It's what we were talking about. Ethan Elmore, number 16, his versatility is absolutely insane. He has no problem catching, running, anything. Which is a shame for Frederick, as now this sets them up in the red zone. First down.
Heiner's shotgun, getting a signal from his coach, letting his line know. He'll go shotgun again. Here's the snap handoff. Once again, he's still going on his feet. The Eagles will finally bring him down, not after a first down again for Mead, excuse me. Chapala is running all over Frederick.
Yeah, Chapala has made it look almost easy with these first downs. I think both Ethan Elmore and Chapala run pretty similar. They're both heavy-footed runners, and they just keep cranking.
Heiner's going to hand it off, but that'll be brought down in the backfield. Frederick's defense starting to sniff it out.
Looked like that was Lewis. Lewis with the takedown in the backfield. Super impressive to see from a freshman.
Bryson Gissel's first carry of the game will go nowhere.
Second down, 2nd and 11. Loss of a yard last play.
Heiner's shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff, rolls left, feeling pressure. Almost made a great pass to Elmore. Looked like a jumping throw, but that won't work out.
I mean, we talked a little bit about Heiner not feeling the pressure, but that play, they tried clobbering him from both directions, came from both the left and right side. Were able to slip past the O-lineman pretty easily, put pressure on Heiner early on that play, forcing him to throw it earlier than what he expected. Looked like he was off the back foot, not quite what he wanted. And almost saw the look with Elmore. Elmore was wide open.
Heiner's shotgun once again. He'll have twins left. And that'll be a timeout for Mead. As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
As welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, as Heiner just got smacked. The fumble will take a big loss as it rolls out of bounds.
I mean, that was an understatement. He pretty much got tanked. And then the ball was coughed up, went bounding in the other direction from what Heiner wanted. This will set him up with a 4th and forever. We'll see what they do here. Perhaps try and kick it with Eli Davis. Maybe they'll stay out there already with a 10-0 lead.
It's going to be 4th and a mile here for Heiner, 4th and 29. That's what the scoreboard reads. Flag on the play. Delay of game. It's going to push him back even farther.
So now begs the question, are they out of field goal range?
I don't know. Eli Davis has drilled one of them. We'll see what they want to do here. It looks like Eli Davis is going to give this a try.
I mean, might as well while you're out there. So 4th and much more than 4th and 25 or 29.
And never mind, looks like they're punting this away.
Smart.
And this will go right side, short punt. We'll take a Frederick bounce. Mead will pick it up at the 24-yard line.
So 4-yard field position better than the last few drives. As Gavin and his offense will step out again. As we were talking about, they have not had any momentum whatsoever. With about 7 minutes and 33 seconds left in this first half. Frederick trailing by 2 scores. Awful predicament for Gavin. Can't let anything else happen.
Ishmael's shotgun. He's going to go 4 wide. Salazar in the backfield again. He'll look right side. It's Rudman. Rudman's met. Almost coughed up the football. He hangs on to it, though. 2-yard gain here for Frederick.
So this will make it 2nd and a tad bit shorter. Tried to find any amount of yardage that they possibly could. Only able to find a gain of 2. This will set Frederick up. Excuse me. This will set Frederick up with a 2nd and 5, so a little bit more than what I was anticipating. 2nd and half, way to go.
Ishmael shotgun trips left. Man all alone on the right is Rudman. Motion man Salazar, here's the snap. Ishmael drops back. He's going to take off. Ishmael looking for a seam, brought down by the shoelaces, but not after he picks up a 1st down.
And as we were talking about, obviously beautiful play from Gavin. Didn't see anything that he wanted, so he just took it himself, which is something that he's really, really good at. Able to find an opening and take it with his own legs, but got to be careful with those legs because, you know, he's possibly nursing some sensitivity with those legs.
Ishmael's going to roll left. He's feeling pressure. He evades one. Will get rid of the ball. It's going to be 2nd and 10.
Good call from Gavin. They were bringing defenders in hot. 2 of them hot on his heels, snapping. One of them tried to grab for the shoelaces. Gavin didn't see anything open, just threw it out. Thankfully able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. If not, that would have been a nasty play. Instead, just a 2nd and 10.
Ishmael goes shotgun again, 4 wide. Motion man Dean, first time I've seen him at running back in this game. Rudman's got a lot of space on this screen. Rudman makes one miss. Rudman's down at the 50. 1st down Frederick, and there we go.
Frederick, that's exactly what we needed. It was a little bit of a deeper screen than maybe a flag. Roughing the passer.
And roughing the passer, so Frederick, I'm sure will just decline that penalty.
Yeah, obviously don't want to take away from that gorgeous play. Rudman found plenty of room. He had blockers in front.
Ishmael.
With the blockers, this will take them even further.
That helps out Frederick a ton, as that will be the first time they don't go 3 and out in this game. First down, Frederick. Ishmael all the way out to the 35, looking to make it here into the red zone.
Finally able to muster up something. Gavin and his offense set up at the 35 in Mead territory. Gavin getting audibles from the sideline.
Ishmael shotgun, 4 wide. Dean's in the backfield with them. Here's the snap. Ishmael drops back, feeling pressure. Evades one, evades another. No, he'll be brought down for a sack. Second and about 16.
Gavin has had pretty much 0 to nothing protection. Like, there has been no protection, not necessarily the O-line's fault. I think just they've just been struggling this game here early on, as now they're backed up even farther. 2nd and 16, so 2nd and pretty long for Gavin. And I mean, there was nothing open. So Mead doing a good job of sort of precariously balancing defending and also the takedown with Gavin, which is unfortunate with his leg.
Ishmael shotgun, 4 wide, drops back. Feeling pressure again. Looking to throw. He has nowhere to go with this football. He's just going to run out of bounds, which will count as another sack here for Mead. As another loss for Frederick's going to make it 3rd and forever.
So a loss of 2 on the play. 3rd and should be 3rd and 18.
Brings up 3rd and long for the
Looks like the outside linemen, or offensive line, they cannot handle, I believe they're sending multiple rushers on the outside, which is making it nearly impossible for Gavin to have any time inside or outside the pocket as he's being swarmed 24/7.
Ishmael is going to throw the swing pass to Dean. Dean has a lot of space. Dean cutting up field, so he'll pick up a big gain on 3rd down, but not enough.
Dean chopped down. This will leave them with a 4th and a little bit shorter. 4th and 14. So an official 4th and 14, and Gavin staying on the field. We'll see if this is just to get them offsides or if this is actually going to work out in Frederick's favor. Obviously struggled a little bit on the 4th down this game already.
Ishmael shotgun, 4 wide, rolling right, looking deep. That's Del Pitts. What a ball! Touchdown, Frederick!
Frederick couldn't have had a better pass from Gavin Ishmael. We doubted him in the pocket a little bit these past few drives. He struggled. His leg has been bothering him, but Gavin did not let the adversary. Whoa, I'm not quite sure what I said there. The adversary, he did not struggle whatsoever on that pass, as Del Pitts was able to beat out the man in the open field exactly as a quarterback. Not what you want to see. Del Pitts beat him, and then it was just a foot race.
And different kicker on the field here for Frederick. Can't quite see who it is, Carly.
Looks like
but
that
he
is
pokes it right down the middle.
Number 14. Looks like that's number 14, Garrett Cahoon. Funny enough, he's labeled as a quarterback and defensive back. So maybe not his first job here. First time we've seen him out here. As this is the exact momentum that Frederick needed. They were falling behind. As I said before, Gavin was having his struggles, his adversities, and my words were not cooperating. But now Frederick cutting down Mead's lead, 7-10. Your Golden Eagles only trailing by 3.
Cahoon ready to kick this away. Or is that Norwood? I can't even tell anymore.
It's hard to see numbers from up here sometimes.
And timeout Mead. That'll be the second of the half for them. They'll have 1 remaining. So I'd like to take this chance to shout out Key Club. Need volunteer hours? Want to help our community? Then you should join Key Club, an international organization dedicated to service. Join us after school on the 2nd and 4th Monday of each month in room E118.
Short, sweet, pretty simple drive from Frederick. First time we've really seen that explosive offense.
It looks like it is Norwood because Cahoon was a lefty. So Norwood will be dealing with the kickoff duties. And great kick that is. That'll be fielded at the 5. He'll go left sideline, but he'll be brought down at the 17, 16-yard line by Wesley Walker.
Quick wrap up from Wesley. Second time we've heard Wesley's name this night. But there is a flag down on the field. I believe it is holding on the Mavericks. Could be wrong. Looks like they're talking to Mead's coaches, as this would possibly back up Mead even farther if it is on the Mavericks, and that would put them in pretty good field position for Frederick. Four minutes to go before this first half winds down.
And some confusion on the field with the referees right now.
Yeah, from what I could hear, it sounded like it was on the Mavericks. Could have been holding, possibly.
And Carly Evans is right. Holding on the Mavericks. That'll back them up deep into their own territory. We'll see if Frederick can make something out of this.
Yeah, Mead cannot afford, pardon me if I'm wrong, but stupid mistakes here. I mean, it's one of those where penalties are just dumb mistakes that you got to move on from. But right here, this is one that if they don't move on from it fast, they might be backed up even farther.
Heiner's going to hand it off. And he's met in the backfield, swung down by, was that Eric Ross in the backfield?
Looked like that was Marcus.
Or was?
I think that was Salmaron. No, that was Ross. You were right. Dante Lechuga was right. We each have our correct moments, as Eric Ross, first time we've heard his name. And he was able to swing Chapala down relatively quickly. Mead without a gain and a loss of 1 on the last play.
2nd and 11 here for Heiner. Handoff, right side again. And he'll be met by a flock of Eagles. Frederick starting to posture here on defense.
Posture they are. This is the second takedown in a row that we've seen from Frederick, where they haven't allowed even a minuscule gain. They've been able to snuff out the play super quick, as we're going to see a timeout here. Smart from the Mead Mavericks with a big 3rd down.
About 3 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in this first half. Heiner dealing with the big 3rd and 10 here. So I'd like to take this chance to shout out United Power. Just a reminder that our broadcast is brought to you in part by United Power. At United Power, we're a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network and are proud to power local sports and local schools. United Power, your local touchstone energy cooperative.
As Mead, they have a big 3rd down and 10. Frederick, we saw the momentum swing after that drive down for a touchdown. All thanks to Del Pitts.
Heiner's going to go shotgun. Has twins left. Here's the snap. Fires left side. That is dropped right into the hands and just went right onto the ground there for Mead. For Edison Burke.
So Edison Burke Looked like he just sort of bobbled the ball a little bit, which is not what you want on a screen. He had blockers in front. He had plenty of blockers. Probably could have secured the first down for Mead, but bobbled the ball, and thankfully probably a deep sigh of relief from Mead as he was able to recover it.
And sky punt for Mead. That'll take a friendly bounce for them, and Del Pitts will just let that roll out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
So Gavin and his offense, little under 3 minutes in this first half. We saw last drive the momentum swing that we were talking about previously. Gavin set up with a first down in Mead territory. They want to encroach on this Mead score even more. They want to get this lead before the first half winds down. That's the exact more momentum swing that Frederick needs. And Gavin is going to be looking at his offense for this. And possibly Del Pitts again.
Ishmael's going to go shotgun, has Palma all alone. Motion man Dean fixed the handoff to him. He's going to fire for Palma. Palma makes the grab, breaks the tackle, cutting it to the outside. Just brought down. He just might have had a touchdown if he broke one more tackle. But first down for Frederick.
Jeezrel Palma, beautiful read. He sort of curled inward whenever you least expected it. A little bit of a slant towards the middle and waited patiently for Gavin's ball. Gavin found him, and Palma just sort of tiptoed his way through the middle of the field. And as you put it, he was evading defenders left and right, and if only he broke that shoelace tackle.
And flag on the play again.
Looked like maybe someone jumped or delay of game.
It's going to be false start here for Frederick.
So somebody did jump, which is exactly what Mead would love.
And it'll be 1st and 15 here for Frederick. Ishmael is going to go shotgun again, same formation. Palma's all alone again. We'll see if they target him. That's the matchup they want there on the outside. Motion man Del Pitts fakes the handoff, and that's where they're going to go on the slant. Palma makes the grab, breaks the tackle, breaks another one. He's fighting for every yard here tonight.
As this will set Frederick up beautifully on the second down. It was a 1st and 15, excuse me. It was a 1st and 15 with the penalty and able to make up for that. Palma, 2 strikes back to back. We might hear his name a lot on this drive as Mead's defense has played soft coverage on him.
Ishmael fires, it's into the dirt.
That was low, intended for Rudman. We heard his name earlier. I believe it was Rudman who did have the big gain earlier too. Had a big gain of his own. And just a low ball from Gavin.
And it's going to be 3rd and about 5 here for Frederick.
3rd and completely manageable.
Ishmael shotgun, trips right, drops back, 2-step drop. Mead setting up blitz. Ishmael gets out of there. He's going to take off. He'll pick up the first down. Looking for the end zone and a little bit of a late hit, and that is what it will be. Ishmael shaken up.
Saw that coming from a mile away. You could tell he definitely targeted Ishmael down on the ground. Once he's down, once a body part is down, like his knee or his elbow or whatever the case may be, he is down and you cannot hit him after the play. And Mead getting flagged as pretty much, I think everyone saw that on that play. Most obvious mistake that Mead could make here late in this first half. Minute 30. Thankfully, Ishmael looks to be okay. Was shaken up last play. Probably got the wind knocked out of him a little bit from that hit.
That's a big mistake that is from Josh Gonzalez, leading tackler last year for Mead, the Mead Mavericks, the junior. Frederick's going to have a 1st and goal situation here. Ishmael shotgun. It's Palma all alone again. I'm sure they're going to look into that matchup. Motion man, Del Pitts fakes the handoff, and that's what they'll do. Palma, great defense that was by Cale Hansen.
Yep, Kale Hansen. I mean, it's difficult to cover Palma, especially whenever you're one-on-one with him. And Palma, typically, he can come down with the ball. And Gavin saw a read there. But Palma just got it batted right out of his arms. Very good defense from Hansen.
Ishmael shotgun, motion man Dean. He's going to fake the toss, so Ishmael's looking for the end zone. Looks like he'll be short. So we're going to stay at 3rd and goal.
3rd and just shy. Looks like about 2 yards shy of the end zone. They have plenty of time, sitting at about 40 seconds. Clock still running, though. Going to have to be mindful. Lloyd trying to communicate with Ishmael.
Clock's ticking here in this first half. About 30 seconds left.
And, I mean, maybe you do want to waste a little bit of clock here so that if you don't get it, then you can kick a field goal and you will not give Mead any time to do anything before this first half winds down.
And
which is exactly what it looks like they might be doing.
It's going to be a timeout on the field. So I'd like to take this chance to shout out Zadell Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, Greg Zadell at Zadell Realty is your community-centered go-to person. Greg is a local realtor and broker who's been selling houses in the Carbon Valley area since 1980. He's an active supporter of our community, FHS, and a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. If you need a realtor with deep knowledge of the market, Greg Zadell is a great choice. Watch for his monthly real estate article in the Consumer Report or email him at greg@zadellrealty.com. Greg Zadell and Zadell Realty, your community-centered realtor.
As here in a little bit, we're going to be having Greg here live. But first, what will happen on this huge 3rd down? Frederick still trailing by 3. 15.8 seconds on the clock.
Ishmael under center. Sweep to Dean. Dean looking for the end zone, and he's in! Touchdown, Frederick!
Couldn't have played it out better. Frederick, another strike on the board, giving them the lead very late here in the first half. It was just a little sweep, too, nothing fancy. And Frederick's offensive line really stepping up as they needed it.
And after a rough first quarter, for Frederick, they'll go into the half leading unless some crazy stuff happens here.
Which is exactly why they probably tried to run the clock down.
And this time it'll be Norwood who pokes it through.
So 14-10, the first time that the Golden Eagles have been a few points at least above the Mead Mavericks. Mead has been in the lead up until this point. So Frederick, as we mentioned, the momentum swing from earlier with the touchdown, 2 back-to-back drives that led to scores. And with 11 seconds left, we'll see what Frederick decides to do, and Mead, but mainly Frederick, if they'll squib it or not. Try and waste some time.
$11 seconds here for Heiner to work with. We'll see. I'm sure Mead will just kneel it down or maybe even give Elmore another touch, see if he can make any magic happen. Norwood's kick will be returned. A little bit of confusion on who will be returning that one, as he'll go to the right side but brought down at the 19-yard line. Frederick starting to get some mojo.
As you put it, mojo dojo. It is Frederick's house at the moment. Mead, maybe a little bit of frustration as you can see them huddling. At least I think you can. Huddling on the sideline. Looks like we got a glimpse of that from the corner of the shot, but they were huddling, probably talking about game plan, and as you put it, Dante might just kneel it, as it looks like that's what they're going to do.
And Heiner will go under center to kneel this ball. So that will take us to the end of the first half. Frederick 14, Mead Mavericks 10.
As we're going to be
go down to the sideline here with Zoe Wittler.
Here in a moment. Believe we're going to get one of the coaches here in a second, but really, really good first half out of Frederick. A little shaky early on. So not quite what they wanted or anticipated in the first quarter, but Dante, as we saw it, they really stepped up the game in the second quarter.
Definitely. I believe they outscored Mead in the second quarter 14-3. As they're looking to continue that in the second half. And Ethan Elmore is having himself a day. I'm not sure why they went away from him in the second quarter.
Oh, that is an understatement, that's for sure, as we're going to get an interview here in a moment.
As we're going to go down to the sideline with Zoe Wittler.
I'm Zoe Wittler here with Coach Lloyd. Coach, what are your thoughts from the first half?
Well, we had to make some adjustments on offense, so we finally got that stuff figured out. So last 2 drives, we scored points, so hopefully we can continue that.
Absolutely, and just like we saw, when Gavin's given time to get the ball off, he's a big threat. How do you ensure that he gets more opportunities like that in the second half?
Yeah, we're going to work with our O-line, make sure they clean up some protection stuff, let our defense play hard, and we'll be fine.
Awesome, thank you, Coach.
You guys are welcome.
Back to you, Carly and Dante.
Thank you, Zoe, as we're going to be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zeddell Realty, and specifically Greg Zeddell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zeddell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zeddell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zeddell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zeddell Realty.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
In Frederick, we believe in rolling up our sleeves, not just for ourselves, but for each other. We believe in playing outside until the stars flicker on and protecting the hallowed ground of childhood. We believe in a lifelong commitment to actions as good as our intentions. We believe in the power of our voices and the obligation of our hearts to form a strong foundation. We believe we are onto something that's worth all we can give it. Here, the life we dream of is ours to create.
I think the future is bright for Frederick. I think we understand our identity and who we are, and we don't want to lose that.
The town is really built on the community of people and how everyone almost treats people like family.
I see an opportunity to have a seat at the table and to show our worth and our value and our undeniable characteristics of being a lovely community that's welcome to all.
Hi, I'm Coach Matt Lloyd. I'm the head football coach at Frederick High School. You're watching the Golden Eagle Broadcasting Network. Golden Eagles, let them fly.
Welcome back into the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I am Carly Evans. Alongside here with me is Greg Zadell. Greg, so good to see you again.
You too. Good to be back this year.
For sure. So this presentation of Halftime here for Frederick High School football is brought to you by Greg Zadell and Zadell Realty for the Zadell Realty Halftime Show. If you are looking to buy or sell a home, Greg Zadell at Zadell Realty is your community-centered go-to person. Greg is a local realtor and broker who has been selling homes in the Carbon Valley area since 1980. He's an active supporter of our community, FHS, and a proud partner of the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. If you need a realtor with deep knowledge of the market, Greg Zadell is a great choice. Watch for his monthly real estate article in the Consumer Report or email him at greg@zadellrealty.com. Greg Zadell and Zadell Realty is your community-centered realtor. And as usual, we are so thrilled to have you back here, obviously. And we're going to jump into kind of an important conversation more about real estate in the area.
Sounds good.
So starting off, for one, it's Frederick versus Mead week, big week, lots of hype around it, and you've been doing real estate in both these communities for a really long time. What are some of the differences between Frederick and Mead in terms of real estate, and why is Frederick better?
Well, the good thing we have is we have the Carbon Valley area, which some of the kids from Frederick and from Firestone also go to Mead, and vice versa. So you have a lot of cross going to different schools there. But as far as the markets go, they're fairly similar. It depends more on, you got a little bit difference in housing stock and a little more housing stock in Frederick and Firestone, Tacona, so you have more to choose from than Mead. Mead's got more of the small acreage type properties, so it's a good complement back and forth. But I live in Firestone as well and enjoy it there.
Obviously a little bit of bias in
Yeah,
the question,
right.
but I mean, it's all good. Another question that I have, what's going on with the buyer representation situation right now?
So people might have heard there's been a lot of stuff in the news, a legal action that came out of Missouri that was settled in court. And basically the changes in Colorado aren't real huge, but it does require that you have a agreement with your buyers. If you're buying a house, you have to have an agreement with your agent in place disclosing what that agent's going to get paid and who's going to pay them. Now here in Colorado, we've had buyer agreements for probably 20 years or more, and so it's not a huge change. It's just the change that you have that conversation before you start looking at houses now. But it's still important to have that representation, because as a buyer, especially a first-time buyer, they don't know what they don't know, and so they need somebody to help them through the process, to negotiate on their behalf, to explain to them what they need to do as far as inspections, loans, appraisal, all that stuff.
Anything else specifically to assist first-time home buyers that you have in mind?
Well, the big thing is to talk to a couple people, talk to a couple realtors, interview them, see who's knowledgeable in the area, who's used to working with first-time home buyers, and then set expectations. You know, when can you show me houses? When can you not show me houses? Make sure that you get pre-qualified if you're the buyer before you go out there and look at things, because you want to look at something that makes sense for you.
Yeah,
that's
for
affordable.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
It's
popping
good to be
in
back.
here. Oh, for sure, for sure. So this has been the Zadell Realty Halftime Show. Greg Zadell remains your community-centered realtor. When we come back, we'll be back to the action here as your Golden Eagles lead 14-10 over the rival Mead Mavericks.
There we go.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zadell Realty, and specifically Greg Zadell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community. Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zedell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zedell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zedell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zedell Realty.
Do you want a reliable realtor who you can trust with your money and owning or renting a home? Then you can turn to Zedell Realty and specifically Greg Zedell. Greg is a local realtor who helps people buy and sell both homes and investment properties. He has an extended knowledge of the market and is extremely involved in the community.
Along with being a local realtor right here in Frederick, Greg Zedell is extremely experienced in his profession. Not only is he a broker, but also the owner of Zedell Realty, located in the Carbon Valley area since 1980, just over 42 years as of now. Make sure to watch for the Zedell Real Estate article in the Consumer Report. You don't want to miss it. You won't regret it when you rely on Zedell Realty.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
In Frederick, we believe in rolling up our sleeves, not just for ourselves, but for each other. We believe in playing outside until the stars flicker on and protecting the hallowed ground of childhood. We believe in a lifelong commitment to actions as good as our intentions. We believe in the power of our voices and the obligation of our hearts to form a strong foundation. We believe we are onto something that's worth all we can give it. Here, the life we dream of is ours to create.
I think the future is bright for Frederick. I think we understand our identity and who we are, and we don't want to lose that.
The town is really built on the community of people and how everyone almost treats people like family.
I see an opportunity to have a seat at the table and to show our worth and our value and our undeniable characteristics of being a lovely community that's welcome to all.
I'm
Listen to smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about kickoff night. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Only you can prevent wildfires. Fire.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
gas in the smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches, don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about rooftop life, nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
And welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name is Dante Lechuga, alongside here with the GBNer of the year, Carly Evans. Carly, what are these updates you have?
Well, a few of the updates that I was just informed of is before the big play in the first half to Del Pitts, whenever we saw Gavin air that ball out with an impressive throw, Wesley Walker, we've heard his name a few times, but Wesley was on the sideline, and he was furious. He was yelling at the players. He was trying to get them pumped, and actually that's whenever we saw the momentum swing. So not only is Wesley a team player, but, I mean, he's also just an impact player in general. I think he helped contribute to the fact that Frederick was able to finally put something up on the board. And obviously other players probably helped to hype, but Wesley was the one that definitely put them in line. Gavin got an update about Gavin. It is his knee that is bothering him. He's been able to tough it out so far this first half. We'll see about the second half, as knee problems can sometimes become a bigger issue. And we don't want to obviously put any massive amount of strain on the knee or anything. We don't want him to be out for any game in the near future. Words are hard. In the near future or far future. So really going to have to watch Gavin. They put in Palma to try and probably take some pressure off of Gavin to have to run around so much. And Palma was able to be an impact player for a few moments, made two big back-to-back strikes. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all the updates.
Wow. That was a lot more than I expected, Carly. Glad a lot of our players are able to tough out their injuries. And what do you think we got to do to stop this run game from Mead?
I mean, from what I've seen, Mead definitely likes the hard run. They tend to run really, really hard, and I feel like the linebackers are sort of caught lacking. And I feel like our linebackers could definitely step up. Our D linemen are trying to snuff out the play, but it's also a matter of once they get to the open field, once Elmore finally breaks through the line of defenders, our middle linebackers and our outside linebackers have to make a play. Obviously, cornerbacks more focused, and our safeties more focused on the deep ball, more focused on the passing game. But the linebackers really have to start looking at how can we shut down Ethan Elmore, and if one man can't take him down, then you have to get a flock of Golden Eagles to take him down.
Norwood ready to kick off. Booming kick there for Norwood. Best one so far for him. That would be a touchback. Heiner will get started here at the 20.
So Christian Heiner and his offense. Heiner, he's been stifled these last few drives. There was a lot of pressure that was put on him, something that he really hasn't had any problems with in that first half necessarily, more specifically the first quarter. Second quarter is whenever we started seeing some pushback from Frederick's defense, saying, "No, we're not going to put up with this." And we saw them rushing a lot more than normal.
Heiner doubles reverse there for Mead. Elmore will get the carry. About 7-yard gain there for Ethan. They're going right back to him like they were in the first quarter.
So game plan, it seems, might remain the same, which is very interesting. I mean, it worked for sure, but towards the end of that first half, we started seeing the momentum swing that we talked about at the end of the first half. And that swing is really what got Frederick back into this game, and part of that was starting to stifle Ethan Elmore.
Heiner's going to go shotgun, twins left, handoff, and that's met by a flock of Eagles. Looks like he'll get maybe a yard on the play. It's going to be 3rd and short.
So with the third and short, looks like they had another runner too on the play. Looked like Martinez, who ran at that time, and they tried just going right up the middle, tried bouncing it, but nothing really came out of it. Obviously good driving passion with the feet for the Mead Mavericks, but Frederick and their flock able to take him down.
Heiner under center, handoff up the middle, looking for the first down. I don't think he got there. Yes, he does.
Interesting look. It looked like almost he was a yard shy of the first down. Looks like they halted him, but
got the friendly
refs,
spot from the ref.
Yep, refs are gonna spot it a yard further than what I anticipated, so it'll be a first down for the Mead Mavericks. Still sitting in their own territory, but obviously with a new set of downs. We'll see what they do, if they bounce right back to Ethan Elmore in the run game or try passing for once.
Heiner under center, handoff left side. That will be met at the line. Big hit, that was.
That was quite the stop from Frederick's defense. This is exactly the momentum that we needed to see, leaving them with a, looks like that was Salmeron with the hard-hitting hit, I suppose. Hard-hitting hit.
Great stick that was by Salmeron, as Heiner's going to go under center. Here's the motion, fakes the toss, drops back, has a man wide open. That's going to be caught for Mead. That's going to be a touchdown. Mead's going to lead.
So we talked about the momentum swing. So Noah Vroman, whose name sounds like a race car, pretty much proved it there. He is fast in the open field, and none of Frederick's defense was able to keep up with him. I mean, that's as bad a blown coverage as you can have. Frederick didn't see it coming. I think they were anticipating that Mead would sit back and fall back on the run game, as they have been doing so often.
As that kick just got blocked. Eli Davis's first miss is a blocked field goal. Sorry to interrupt, Carly, but that
you're all good.
Crazy block that was.
Yeah, no kidding. Not every day you see a blocked PAT. So 16-14. In what should have been Mead leading by 3 is now Mead leading by 2. So manageable, but quite the blown coverage on defense. Caught the linebackers lacking.
That play action definitely sucked in the defense on that one, with them running the ball all night.
Yeah.
Mead 16-14 here in this third quarter.
So Mead now regaining the lead, as we've seen them do quite often in this game, actually. As you put it, a 2-point lead for the Mead Mavericks. Before the game even started, I was talking with some of the Rowdy Crowd members for your Frederick Golden Eagles, and they were anticipating a close, tight matchup, and so far it has been nothing short of a close, tight matchup for the Mead Mavericks and your Golden Eagles.
Davis's kick will fall short of the end zone. Del Pitts will return. Del Pitts looking for a seam, makes one miss, still going. Brought down at the 30. That is where Ishmael will start his drive.
Del Pitts, he's such a shifty player. He's really, really hard to take down, and he's also not the tallest guy out there, which sort of plays to his advantage. Sometimes you'll see football players and they'll get lost sort of in the play. They'll lose players even. That's happened even in the NFL or even college ball, where you'll see some of the scrawnier, smaller players get lost in the swath of a crowd, and Del Pitts able to evade a few tackles. and use the speed to his advantage.
Ishmael's going to go shotgun. He has Diamond on the left. Lone man on the right is Rudman. Salazar's in the backfield once again. He motions, fakes the handoff. Rudman will make the grab. Brought down right after the catch.
Good short gain from Braden Rudman. Rudman just took a really short curl on the outside and waited patiently for Gavin and the ball. Gavin placed it just in the right spot, and Rudman just fell on it. Little under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter.
Thing to look out for is Eismann has yet to make a grab this game. Ishmael's going to fire left side. Screen for Del Pitts. He got smacked.
Smacked is an understatement. If you've ever played Madden, that was quite a hit stick. Looked like that was... That was Cale Hansen. Yep, we heard Hansen's name earlier whenever he batted the ball away from Jeezrel Palma in the end zone. Cale once again proving he is not an easy player to play against. Third and 4, another big third down. Your Golden Eagles trailing by 2 still.
Ishmael's all alone. Fakes the handoff to Del Pitts. He's got some pulley guards in front of him. Makes a move. Looking for the outside. Ishmael's got a lot of space, but there's mustard on the lettuce. There's a flag on the play.
There is.
It's going to be brought back.
Mustard on the lettuce. Probably something blocking-wise. Yep, holding. And, I mean, that's a hard one because, obviously, you want your O-linemen to really... You want your O-linemen to just obviously block for you, and you want them to block effectively. But whenever they're tugging or whenever they're caught lacking in the situation, then you have an incident like that where Gavin, we haven't seen him take it with his legs that much this game, and whenever he did, it didn't pay off quite like how they wanted it to. Gavin got the yards he needed, but the O-linemen were the ones that slipped up this time.
Be 3rd and 14 here for Frederick.
So now a much harder task at hand for Frederick's offense.
Ishmael shotgun. They're in 4 wide. Fakes the handoff. He's getting blitzed. Ishmael, he'll be dropped in the backfield.
I mean, it was a problem earlier with Frederick's O-linemen. And all of the Mead's defense pretty much stacking up against Ishmael in the backfield. We saw him try and cut outside, see if anything was open, because obviously he couldn't take it with his legs, but if there was something open downfield, it was well defended by Mead. So Mead, Mavericks defense got what they wanted, able to draw the 4th and 18, and Frederick will just punt this ball away.
Here's the punt. Another line drive. It'll take a Mead bounce and will be downed at the 49-yard line. As I'd like to take this chance to shout out Yearbook for sponsoring today's broadcast. The 2024 Frederick High School yearbook staff is excited to capture the memories and moments of the 2024-25 school year. Please make sure that your FHS memories last forever by purchasing a 2025 yearbook. Prices will increase throughout the year, so buy your book now.
So 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. Frederick still trailing by 2, but now Mead back with the ball. This could be a problem. Don't want them to get up by 2 scores.
Heiner's under center. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Looked like he got dropped in the backfield, but it was just Ross wrestling with one of Mead's linemen.
I mean, it was a very tight bunch formation, and honestly wasn't sure what they were doing there at first. Didn't look like much of anything play-wise, and the result was not really much of anything play-wise. So with that, that'll bring up a 2nd and 8 on the play. Clock's still running. 6.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Heiner shotgun. Here's the snap. Handoff, right side, still on his feet. In the clear, it's a foot race, brought down. Not after he has a 1st down and more.
So that was not quite what Frederick was looking for. Able to bounce around to the outside, and as you put it, just a foot race from that point. Sometimes it's a blessing in itself to have that sideline and that out of bounds, because Frederick really used that to their advantage. As now we might see them go to the air, bit of spread out formation.
Heiner's in shotgun, but it's going to be a timeout for Frederick, as we'll be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Listen to smoke before you give it a try. Only you. Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about nothing very nice. Hole is mine. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you.
And welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network, as a handoff up the middle will go for 3 yards here for Mead.
As that was Dante Lechuga, and I'm Carly Evans. Little under 6 minutes now. Elmore stuffed pretty much at the line. It'll be a second down and 7. So a 3-yard gain on the play. Nothing much prosperous-wise, though, for Mead.
Heiner under center. Sweep left side. A little bit of room. Frederick containing. That could have been a holding call. On that left side. Looks like it won't get called, though.
Yeah, it looks like no call. And Heiner has some wheels on him, trying to find a breakaway on the very far outside. But Frederick able to snuff anything out before it grew. So now, 3rd and short for the Mead Mavericks. Still pretty far within Frederick territory, though.
Heiner under center, has 2 behind him. Handoff, and he's met after a 1-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and short.
So 4th down, good job on Frederick's part for pretty much analyzing that play and breaking it down immediately. I mean, it was pretty much anticipated from Frederick's part, and really not hard to. The Mead Mavericks, excuse me, words are hard. The Mead Mavericks have really relied on their run game, especially with these 3rd and shorts or these 2nd down and shorts. And this time,
Heiner's under center, 4th and shorts, rolling right. Nowhere to go with the ball. He's going to escape. Looking for the 1st down. And he's brought down. Close to the line to gain.
As we'll see where they spot it. Looks like they will give them the 1st down, though.
And that was a
that was
crazy tackle.
That was quite a tackle. I thought it was a horse collar at first. I thought he grabbed the back of his jersey, like how he fell, but no call. Mead, though, the cacophony of ooh, as everyone saw Christian Heiner go down pretty hard on that turf.
1st and 10, Mavericks.
Heiner's in shotgun, has 2 far left. Here's the snap, handoff, and that'll go nowhere.
Once again, running game, it's starting to sort of falter out, or stutter, one could say. Definitely starting to stutter here late in the third quarter. Mead, though, still relying on it heavily, but just, I believe, a gain of 1 yard, which will lead him with 2nd and 9. Still moving the chains, though.
Heiner in shotgun. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff, drops back, 2-step drop, looking for the end zone, and it's intercepted!
What a job from Frederick's defense, as it was a toss-up for the ball in the end zone, and Frederick able to come down with it. Big stop for Frederick's defense. It's exactly the stop that they needed, too. So, my, how the turntables have turned, as someone famous once said. 16-14, your Golden Eagles still trailing by 2, but now with possession of the ball at the 20-yard line.
Ishmael 1st and 10 after that big turnover. He's all alone, 4 wide, trips left. Here's the snap, drops back, fires on for the slant. That's going to be a pass interference. 1st down, Frederick.
So PI on the play, and Mead, you don't want to get sloppy here, but that's exactly what they're doing. We saw their sloppiness in the first half, and that ended up leading to Frederick scoring, as this will move the chains once again for Frederick.
Frederick tested Mead's best corner, Kale Hansen, on that play, and it worked out.
Mead has 3 timeouts. Yeah, they haven't used any. Mead still has all 3, right?
Yeah. Ishmael's in shotgun. Motion man, Salazar fakes the handoff, drops back, has a man, caught. Palma makes a move. He'll be close to the 1st down. We'll see where the spot is. And they're going to give him it. 1st down, Frederick. This offense is rolling.
As you said it, this offense is chugging along. They have not faltered once on this drive. First with the PI, which gave them the 1st down, and now with a dart to Palma in the middle of the field, able to find the open man. And Palma, we've seen his deadly skills. Frederick still rolling. 1st down now.
Ishmael, shotgun, motion man, Salazar again. This time he's going to hand it off to him. Salazar bounces to the outside. Salazar's got some space, makes a move. And it's going to be 2nd and about 3 here for Frederick.
Salazar, this has been a great game for him and great exposure. He, I believe, is still technically the 2nd string, but we haven't seen Dean at all during this entire game. And so with Tristan Dean out, Cody Salazar has really stepped up to the plate. And he's had a few big plays himself this game, and especially in a rival game against Mead. They're going to be shouting his name for sure after this is over with.
Ishmael, shotgun, same formation once again. Motion man, Salazar, similar play action. He's going to throw a bomb for Palma. Broken up.
That was Hansen on the coverage. Intended for Palma. Both Hansen and Palma went up pretty high for that ball. And neither one of them went down with it. Good defensive coverage from the Mavericks, as number 2 was facing off against number 2. Quite the number 2 matchup.
Ishmael, same formation again. Motion man, misdirection to Salazar. Salazar gets tripped up. We'll see if Frederick will stay on the field here for a big 4th down.
A big 4th down for sure. As we continue to say, still down by 2. Yeah, it looked like Cody slipped up from the line And Cody Salazar, probably a little bit of frustration as there was a lot of open space to run in the middle. But he was taken down at the line. So Frederick staying out on the field. Gavin and his offense, we'll see what they can do.
Ishmael shotgun, fakes the handoff to Salazar. Feeling pressure, it falls on the ground. It won't matter, it would have been a turnover on downs either way. Heiner will come back onto the field.
Christian Heiner and his offense on a big 4th down.
And Ishmael's still down, looks like he has a cramp.
Hopefully just a cramp. I know that leg has been bothering him.
As we will be right back here on the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network.
Rocky students exist to build up the next generation, to live a life of purpose, influence, and faith. You see, we believe that when you discover purpose, you start to discover you have a reason to live. And when you discover you have a reason to live, you start to notice you have influence. And when you lean into that influence, you make an impact. This world needs people like you, the next generation, to discover your purpose and to decide today the leader you want to be tomorrow.
And welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. My name's Dante Lechuga, alongside here with Carly Evans. And Ishmael's getting stretched out. Looks like he has a cramp. Those hamstring cramps are the worst.
That is for sure. Interestingly enough, on that 4th down play, looked like Gavin pretty much got bodied in the backfield. I mean, that was one heck of a sack. As we see a slight limp for Gavin Ishmael, still walking on his own, though, in a respective clap from both rowdy crowds, as we cannot afford to lose Ishmael. But as we were talking about earlier, with his knee bothering him, really don't want to agitate any part of that leg, especially not that knee. And the more you agitate it, the worse it gets. But you mentioned cramping, and that looks to be the problem.
Heiner's going to go shotgun. Motion man Elmore. Here's the snap, handoff left. And he's met by Ross for a 1-yard gain.
Eric Ross with the big takedown. We've heard his name a few times. I believe he's had 3 or 4 big impact tackles. And this one, no different, as he's able to pretty much stifle this play at the line. 2nd and, looks like the ball is spotted at 2nd and 8, perhaps.
2nd and 9 here for Heiner. See if they go right back to Chapala. He's going to motion to Heiner's left side. And timeout Mead. As I'd like to take this chance to shout out nobody.
No more live reads left.
As Heiner and his offense will call a timeout. They're up 16-14 with about a minute left here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, second and long. With about a minute to go in this 3rd quarter. And as we're nearing the 4th quarter, the last few minutes of this ball game, I mean, I think the competition will just be amped up that much more, especially with such a close game. But the defense, Freddie's defense, cannot afford to let Mead score late and get up by 2 scores, because then it's that much more of a hassle for Gavin and his already agitated situation with a 2-score lead from Mead. That would mean a lot more pressure on Gavin.
Heiner shotgun. Here's the snap, fakes the handoff, looking right side. He's going to take a shot deep. That'll be overthrown.
I'm kind of surprised. Looked like maybe some tugging on the jersey, but no call. No pass interference. For Freddie's defense, as this will bring a 3rd and long. Obviously, they're not in any situation to tack up some extra points with Eli Davis, where they are at on the field. So out of field goal range, but got to keep them out of moving the chains.
Heiner shotgun. Double reverse again. Elmore's got a lot of space, but he's going to be met by Ross. It'll be 4th and about 7 here for Mead. We'll see what they do here.
Eric Ross once again reading the play perfectly, pretty much like a page out of a book. Saw it, read it, stopped it before anything happened. As looks like Mead will bring their punt team out. At least I hope it's their punt
Davis
team.
getting ready to punt this ball away. Del Pitts will be back to return.
Ooh.
Errant punt, that was from Davis. That'll not go the way the Mavericks wanted it to. So there's 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Ishmael, or maybe even Kissinger, will take the field.
Yeah, we'll see if Preston Kissinger gets some time, some playing time in this rival game. As 18 seconds remain on this clock, we'll see if they decide to keep Gavin in or take him out. I've noticed Davis is kicking, getting gradually more airborne rather than distance-wise, which is not what Mead wants, but it works for Frederick.
Ishmael back on the field. Same formation they've been in all night. He's going to give it to Del Pitts. Del Pitts on the sweep. He'll be met after a yard.
So decidedly keeping Ishmael in the game. Hopefully this doesn't mean anything necessarily. I mean, obviously it means he's still good to play, but agitation, something to keep in mind, especially with homecoming next week. That's a big game too. Gotta let Gavin play in that game.
And now Del Pitts is cramping.
As we saw Del Pitts cramping, I think last game too. He had a pretty bad cramp mid-play or something. And cramping happens. It's definitely something common. Nothing to worry about as this fourth quarter is close to starting up. 12 more minutes of playing time. Freddie still down by 2, but in possession after a beautiful stop by Frederick's defense. Frederick's defense they've really had to step up this game. I mean, Gavin not necessarily struggling on offense, especially whenever he that ball went airborne whenever he threw it to Del Pitts earlier on for the first score for Freddie on the board. But still trailing, so Frederick's offense going to have to step up just as Freddie's defense did.
Fourth quarter here in this rivalry matchup, 16-14, Mead leads. Motion man Dean, it's going to be a toss to him. Dean makes one miss. Still going, using that blazing speed, but there is a flag on the play. Mustard on the lettuce. This will be brought back.
Unfortunate because Dean, you can't get any more elusive than he did there. I mean, he probably made 3 or 4 defenders missed. As that'll be holding, and we will be brought back. So what was once a beautiful bounce to the outside for what would have been a first down and moving the chains for Frederick, which is what they really needed, it is brought back for a 2nd and long.
It's going to be 2nd and 11 here for our Golden Eagles. Once again, same formation. Palma's all alone. He's matched up with Mead's best DB. Fakes the handoff. Ishmael scrambling up the middle. He's brought down by a couple of Mavericks. He'll get back to the line. As we're going to go down to the sideline with Zoe Wittler.
I'm Zoe Wittler. As you guys guys saw, Gavin's gotten hit quite a few times this game, and he's been over there with him on the bench, rubbing out his leg a lot. We saw him get up not too long ago. The fans were cheering super loud, but the leg is super stiff. He's doing okay, but yeah, his leg's super stiff, and he's rubbing it out. And there's been a lot of other players as well that have gone over and, just rubbing it either with his fingers with ointment or with the gun, just trying to really make sure it gets loose. But they're at least doing good. Back to you, Carly and Dante.
Thanks, Zoe, as that was almost an interception, as that was Eismann's first target of the night.
Yeah, Burke Eismann, we heard his name a lot last game. I believe he had the second most receptions last game for Frederick, and that will bring up a 4th and 11. So Frederick was moving the chains, and then, unfortunately, nothing much came out of this drive, which Frederick, the later it gets in the game, the harder it's going to be for them to come back. Obviously not that much of a score deficit, but just enough that if Mead scores again, that'll be a problem.
Line drive punt will roll to the 21-yard line.
At least Frederick's punting unit and kicking unit in general has been pretty much on point tonight. As hopefully this works to Frederick's advantage, as they will be spotted at the 21-yard line. So Christian Heiner and his offense setting up with 10.5 minutes left in this game to play.
And another Golden Eagle cramping. Can't tell who this is. Our Golden Eagles have been cramping a ton these past 2 games.
And you can't see the cramping on the shot because it's further down the field. It's over on Freddie's territory, deep within the 30-yard line on the other side of the field. I believe we've had, what, three players cramp, as that is number 33. Looked like that was Wes. Is that number 32? Because that would be Cody. That might be Cody. Might be Cody Salazar.
He's able to walk off the field. Heiner's in the shotgun. 2 motions. Here's the snap. Handoff left side, met by a wall. Salmeron comes behind to make the tackle.
Saw Salmeron coming hot off that edge. He makes a dangerous edge rusher, especially whenever you give him space. And Heiner pretty much gave him a lot of space. Their blocking didn't see him streaking in, and he was able to stamp that out. 10 minutes left in this game. 2nd and 8 for the Mead Mavericks.
Heiner under center again. Here's the snap, handoff. Makes a move up the middle, almost found a seam for a big gain, but he'll be brought down from behind, not after he picks up a first down.
Spencer Muncie up the middle for the Mavericks. Ball on the
As that was,
1st and 10.
looks like number 22. Excuse me. 21. Spencer Muncie with almost a huge breakaway in the open field.
Heiner under center again. Handoff up the middle, met by a wall. He was swinging around like it was Ring of Rosie.
As that was,
as tempers are flaring in this rivalry game.
yeah, as a helmet pops off, and Josiah Martinez for your Golden Eagles with the swinging takedown.
And
looked like that might have been Muncie who was able to draw the face mask on Frederick. Looked like his helmet popped off. And so that is, I believe, is that a tack on of 15?
15 yards here for Mead, and that'll be a first down. Costly mistake by Frederick.
As you put it, costly mistake. As now this sets them up a little past midfield.
Heiner's under center, 2 behind him. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle, met by a flock of Eagles. He'll pick up about 3 though, or 4.
Yeah, Muncie with the carry. Muncie able to get a gain of about 4, as you put it. 2nd and 6. So they've had a really good rotation. I do have to applaud. Unfortunately, I do have to applaud Mead here. They've had quite the rotation of running backs, or people even in the backfield. I mean, they've had Elmore, they've had Muncie, they've had a few others.
And looks like it's going to be a false start on Mead.
Looks like someone jumped.
That'll push them back, 2nd and 11.
So Mead, with their own costly mistakes, bringing them back a little ways. As Mead's rowdy crowd getting into it. Pretty hyped.
Heiner's going to go shotgun. Motion man Elmore. Here's the snap. Heiner's going to take it himself. Heiner has the seam. Heiner's still on his feet. He'll pick up a good gain. It's going to be 3rd and short.
So something that we've seen Mead do with their 3rd and short, something that we talked about earlier, is that they tend to run it. And we saw, obviously, Christian Heiner just take it himself last play. And obviously their tendency is to run it. And we'll see maybe if they switch things up, as they're sort of spreading out 2 wide receivers to the side.
Heiner shotgun, motion man. Another flag. It's going to be another false start.
Looked like that might have been possibly a pass from Heiner too. But this will be brought back for the Mavericks, as this will lead to a 3rd and 9. So now a 3rd and long, which was intended to be a 3rd and short. We'll see what Heiner does here with his offense. Now with a little bit more room to cover, or ground to cover. 7 minutes, clock still ticking. Frederick still down by 2 without the ball.
Heiner shotgun, 3rd and 9. Clock's ticking in this 4th quarter. Heiner's going to roll right, getting blitz. Elmore with the grab. He's not going to get to the 1st down, though. Flag on the play.
This might be on the Mavericks, but I could be wrong. Looked like Hoagie saw something. It might have been, I don't know. It was hard to tell. I don't think it was on Frederick, though. Nope.
And I'm actually not sure what that is.
But
it was against Mead.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like, because Hoagie was upset about something, looked like maybe not, I don't know. Whatever it was a flag.
And Mead's head coach is furious right now. And Frederick will accept that penalty, and it's going to be 3rd and a mile here for Heiner.
Oh. Illegal blindside block. That's what Hoagie was upset about.
Legal crackback. 3rd and 22 here for Heiner. He'll go shotgun. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. Fires right side. He's met. Great tackle on the play that was.
Beautiful job. Looked like that was Tristan Dean. Yep, Tristan Dean with the takedown. Didn't allow any more yards past the completion of the pass, which is hard to do whenever you have him pretty much with no one else around you. Dean able to just finish the job himself, as this will be a 4th and a mile, and they will just punt this thing away. Oh.
And fumble on the snap here on this punt. Eli Davis still boots that. Del Pitts will have a chance to return this one. Del Pitts trying to dance. Del Pitts looking for that sideline, makes one miss. Finally brought down. Ball's on the ground.
Mead saying it's theirs. Looks like Frederick, though.
And looks like he'll stay with Frederick.
So, Del Pitts, obviously, as you put it, he tried to dance around the defenders and wasn't able really to make much of it. Hard, though, whenever he was getting tracked by like 8 people. So the blocking, not amazing on that attempted punt return, and this will be first down for the Golden Eagles.
Ishmael shotgun. Here's the snap. Fires the right side. Caught. Still going. 2, maybe 1 yard gain there for Frederick. 2nd and 9.
Minuscule gain for Frederick. Gavin still firing on some cylinders. His passing has been pretty much on point. 5.5 minutes, though, as this clock is winding down pretty fast, leaving Gavin and his offense with the what are you going to do?
Ishmael's going to go shotgun. Trips left. Clock's ticking here in this 4th quarter. Ishmael drops back. 2-step drop. Fires left side. That's caught for Rudman. He had to go a little bit backwards to make that grab.
As you put it, Rudman had to reel back a few yards, able to regain what we thought he might lose, as this will be a 3rd and a few to go. Probably 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. So 3rd and short with under 5 minutes left in this game, only trailing by 2. Your Golden Eagles, though, haven't been able to score in a hot minute.
Ishmael's shotgun has Palma all alone on that right side. Sure, they're going to go his way. Motion man. Here's the toss, right side, Dean. Dean makes a cut. Dean still going. Dean's going to be brought down. I think Frederick might have to go for this, Carly.
I think this is 4-down territory for Frederick. You're coming close to pretty much the end of the game here with only a few minutes left.
And Frederick will punt it away. Clock's ticking, 4 minutes left. This defense is going to have to get a stop.
And fast. You got to give Gavin and his offense enough time so that he doesn't have to pull a Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship with, 17 seconds? Not preferable for high school ball whenever Mead's defense has pretty much been on point.
Line drive punt again. Will take a Mead bounce, so Frederick will down it at the 48-yard line.
It is looking to be harrowingly close for Frederick having to do everything that they need to do in the time given with 3 minutes on the clock and 36 seconds. Every second counts, especially here late in this game. Such a close game. You can't let them score again. You have to get this ball back within manageable time. And Gavin and your offense actually have to do something. Have to move the chains.
Heiner shotgun. Here's the snap, handoff right side. Looking for the outside, great stiff arm, but he'll be brought down after a yard.
That was an insane stiff arm on the great Marcus Salmeron. Salmeron been an impact player this game, just like last game. Don't think quite as many tackles as last game with 15 last game, pretty insane. But he's had his fair share. But Elmore pretty much put him to sleep on the ground.
Salmeron fighting an ankle injury all week. Here's the snap, handoff left side this time, making room up the seam.
First down.
First down, Mavericks. Frederick's gonna have to burn some timeouts soon.
So as we talked about, clock management is super important, and the more first downs you give up, the less opportunities you're going to have to come back. And with this game, oh so close, the Mavericks beating Frederick by 2 and encroaching on Frederick territory with a first down.
Heiner's shotgun. Clock's ticking, 2.5 left. Wasting as much time as possible. Here's the snap, left side. And he's met by a flock of Eagles for a 1-yard gain.
Looks like they will take a timeout. Smart look. 2 minutes, 11 seconds left in this game. Mead already started up the "I believe that we will win" chant. And the probability of Mead winning is looking sort of high if they can secure this first down, which is unfortunate for Frederick, but have to be realistic. If they give up this first down, that might be the game.
Big 2nd and 9 here for Mead. Heiner will come back onto the field. I'm sure they'll run it again. Heiner under center. Here's the snap, handoff up the middle. Big gap. Will it be a first down?
Looks like maybe 3rd and shy of a first down. Ooh, 3rd and about a yard short of that first down. Clock stopped at the moment. 2 minutes, 5 seconds. As they will take another timeout, and this is the stop right here. If they cannot get this stop, that might be ball game. Because, I mean, Mead, you're really just going to be looking to expend as much time as you possibly can off this clock. You're not going to want to give Frederick any opportunity to score, because if Frederick even kicks a field goal, if they hold Mead, and Mead doesn't try for a field goal, then they could possibly win. I would say our kickers, though, yes, they've been on point tonight, but I think they had some troubles first game even last week with kicking. 3rd and 3. Big 3rd down.
Elmore's going to go in the Wildcat. Here's the snap. Elmore will get the first down. No. He's short.
He's short. So held him 4th down. Clock still ticking away. What do you do here? Obviously waste as much time as you possibly can. Heiner looking for instructions from the coach. What to do, what to do. Do you go for it and secure the victory for Mead? Or, I mean, I suppose either way you're risking it.
And Heiner really having a long discussion on what he wants to do here with his coaching staff.
Longest discussion you can. Waste as much clock. Minute 20.
They might just take the delay a game.
Looks like they took a timeout.
Timeout Mead, so they don't have the delay a game. And they're probably just going to go for this. Maybe even trust the leg of Eli Davis to make a field goal. Big decision here for Mead. They might just go back to the Wildcat with Elmore.
4th down. This is game. Frederick, they cannot afford to start 0-2 on the season. But if they cannot stop this, this might be 0-2.
Up the middle, and that's a first down for Mead.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, once this clock runs out, will be the game.
Number 32, Carter Woods with the carry up the middle.
So frustration, obviously, from Frederick. Frustration, I think, on both sides of the ball. I think Gavin played a relatively clean game. He didn't throw a pick this game. He was dangerously close, but no pick this game, as they'll just need this out. No pick this game, as I was saying, but unfortunately does not pay off. Second week in a row that Frederick will walk away with the L.
And Ethan Elmore and the rest of this run game was just too much for Frederick. Tyner's going to kneel this out one more time.
I mean, we talked about beforehand watching out for Elmore, and I would say he was the threat that made this game. I mean, he was the person that you had to look out for the whole game. Didn't matter what he was doing. He was deadly. And unfortunate as the Mead Mavericks will pull away with this win. First win, I believe, in 3 years that the Mead Mavericks have had. The record was sitting at, I believe, 7-3, with Mead not winning for a hot minute. Mead, though, pulling through in a very tight 16-14 loss for your Golden Eagles.
Sure, Golden Eagles will fall to 0-2 as we will be right. And welcome back to the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network as we're going to go down to the sideline with Zoe Wittler.
I'm Zoe Wittler here with Burke Eismann. Burke, tough loss, but you went 3-1 over on your career. What has this rivalry meant to you?
I mean, this means everything, you know. Prepared for this game all week, and this is really the biggest game of the year in my eyes. And just sucks to take a loss on this one, but you know, I love all these boys, both sides. Doesn't really matter. On to the next week. That's all I gotta say.
Thanks, Burke. Back to you.
Thank you, Zoe. As today's broadcast has been brought to you by a talented crew of students here on GBN, the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. I've been junior Dante Lechuga alongside junior Carly Evans. Our director is the senior outreach producer of GBN, Chloe Gould. Our camera operators are sophomore Ethan DeLear and junior content producer Justin Pancroft. Our production assistants are Ian McKendry and Jackson Gibbs. The third member of our on-air team down the sideline is the senior executive producer of GBN, Chloe Gould. Mr. Marsing is GBN's advisor. We are off and running on what promises to be an amazing season for Frederick High School and GBN. We'll be back at it next week with not one, not two, but 3 huge broadcasts during homecoming week. We'll have softball on Tuesday, volleyball on Thursday, and the big one, our HOCO special with an exciting team of surprise guest announcers. It'll be a great week, and we can't wait to bring it to you. But for now, for all of us here at FHS, I'm Dante Lechuga, and you've been watching the Golden Eagle Broadcast Network. Good night.